find motivation anytime I need it. No matter how bad I'm hurting, I can push through anything.
I've never backed down. I'm a fighter, and when somebody's here threatening me, it's not going to be good for them.
His experience and his age, is it going to hold up against me that's rising up through the ranks?
I hit people, they fall down. I'm going to do everything in my power to do that. We'll see what happens when we get in there and we mix it up, and we're going to punch each other in the face.
Have that little bit of extra killer instinct that he doesn't have. That's going to be enough to walk away with the world title that night.
I'm going 100%. I'm going to try to get everything I can out of this right now. In the end, I'll come out on top.
He's dangerous, but he's going to feel leather on his chin. People are excited about this fight, and they should be.
Do you believe that I'm the best fighter in the world?
It's all about who's the baddest, dude.
It's just another fight. Just going there to be my best.
This is my time. I'm not going to be denied.
Since 1848, this land has been a beacon for those looking to strike gold. And soon, 6 of America's finest mixed martial artists will put their championship aspirations on the line in the Golden State's capital for Fox UFC Saturday. In the championship main event, Demetrious Johnson.
That's a champion right there.
The most dynamic of all UFC fighters looks to extend his reign in a heated rematch against #1 challenger Joseph Benavidez, who since 2010 has dominated every opponent he has faced.
Joseph Benavidez with vicious body shots.
Except his division's champion. The co-main event features momentous title stakes as Sacramento's world-renowned UFC star Urijah Faber, who earned his legendary status through spectacular grappling and thrilling victories.
He's got his back here. Urijah Faber
takes on 22-year-old McDonald, a groundbreaking prodigy who has already made history.
You see the poise of this young kid, McDonald,
by becoming the youngest fighter to ever earn a shot at a UFC belt. But the road to the octagon begins with a volatile matchup.
Oh, you got rattled. Left hook.
Between one of the UFC's most unstoppable strikers in Matt Brown.
That's a ferocious individual.
And Carlos Condit, whose highlight reel finishes
He's a fight. Looking to finish a fight.
elevated him to the top of the welterweight division in 2012, a status that he now seeks to reclaim. It doesn't take long to reach the rugged outskirts beyond New Mexico's most populous city. And it is here that one of the USC's most talented fighters likes to unwind. Carlos Condit's action-packed career, fueled by a diverse and potent offense, saw him rise last year to become interim UFC welterweight champion. When George St. Pierre returned from injury to face Condit in a title unification, Condit stunned the UFC superstar with a head kick that put the undisputed belt within range. However, after 5 hard-fought rounds, the decision did not go Condit's way. Today, as one of the world's top-ranked welterweights, Condit is back on the ascent and on a mission to not only regain his previous heights, but to exceed them.
I won a belt. I was not the undisputed champion. I was the interim champion. You know, there's still an asterisk by welterweight champion Carlos Condit. You know, I wasn't satisfied. I got a chance to fight George St. Pierre and beat George and become the undisputed champion. And, you know, that didn't happen. I fell short.
Why does it care? Why does it love? Sometimes you feel you're up against the world. Why does it care? Why does it break?
I was worried too much about what George did and what George does instead of worrying about what I do, what I bring to the table, what I'm good at. Maybe had I been working my ground and pound more, my top game a little bit more, it might have been a different outcome. But, you know, lesson learned on my part. It was hard to adjust. It really was. You know, going through that, I came away a stronger fighter, and a better person mentally.
I think Carlos is standing right at the top of the 170-pound division. I mean, he's fought all these guys. He's had wars with a few of them. He's literally on the top of the division.
This has been a long ride, 11 years so far. I like where I'm at. I feel like I have a lot of momentum behind me. I'm motivated to get back to the title. Just enjoying this period of my career.
From the fields of southwestern Ohio comes one of the most resilient fighters in all of mixed martial arts. A man who earned his nickname, the Immortal, by surviving life's trials far beyond the octagon. With his granite chin and rock-solid striking, Matt Brown has been unstoppable since early last year. 6 straight victories currently have Brown riding one of the most impressive win streaks in UFC history, with 5 of those 6 triumphs via spectacular knockout. For Brown, these heights are all the more impressive, considering how far he once fell.
I inherited this car a couple years ago when my father passed away. It's a 1940 Pontiac. You know, it's been kind of a goal of mine to bring it back to the way it was. I was born and raised in a really small town, population of about 200 people. Things always came easy. Like I could go party all night and still pass all my classes. You know, sleep for an hour or whatever. I started rebelling against everything. Ended up around a lot of the wrong people and partying, drugs, alcohol. At one point, it got way too far. I overdosed on heroin and went to the hospital, and according to the doctors, I was clinically dead for probably over a minute. I don't feel like anybody could have been through what I went through and be where I'm at right now. I was so deep in that life for such a long time that I had to find new friends, I had to find new places to hang out. Basically, you know, everything eventually had to change. Back in the younger days when I was addicted to drugs and partying all the time, all I did was take that to the extreme. And now I take something positive and take it to the extreme. I'm still the same person. It's just directed in a more positive manner these days.
Yes, sir. Training alongside Brown is an athlete who has recovered from a near-tragic fall from grace. Maurice Claret led the Ohio State Buckeyes to an undefeated season in 2002, scoring the winning touchdown in double overtime of college football's national championship game. However, after being cut from the NFL, Claret's life bottomed out with substance abuse and jail time. Now fully recovered, the former star finds inspiration and strength in Matt Brown.
Maurice went through some pretty hard times and is back on the ups and, you know, got his life back together. So me and him relate on a lot of things like that. You know, I went through a low time in my life and came back and feel like I'm doing some pretty big things now. And he's on that same path.
I think it comes from focus. I think it comes from, you know what I mean, eliminating everything that's unproductive towards you, wanting to become who you want to become.
Hey, stop, Maurice. Stop.
I think we embody or just embody the whole thing that's coming from struggle, being grungy, hardworking, just hardworking people. I'm glad I'm affiliated with him, glad to get to know him, and just glad that, you know, the guy that's knocking guys out on TV is the guy I had a chance to train with, but to see that the work behind it.
I've trained literally with professional athletes with the NFL this year. I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? Can't predict what's going to happen inside the ring, but as far as conditioning go, it don't get no better.
I'll look back and, you know, regardless of what happens, I can be happy to say that I wasn't given anything. You know, I got everything I got because I went out and worked for it.
Damn, I don't know much about fighting, but I know about conditioning.
You have to step in the cage thinking you're the best in the world.
I've never backed down. I don't care what kind of situation I'm in.
There's no question about it. When I hit people, they fall down.
I am a better fighter than him. Like, I hurt people in my fights.
I'm just kind of living the American dream, you know. I really just try my best not to get too content with it, because I realize how quickly everything can go away.
We gotta go watch Mama race.
Get ready.
Hey, you guys see Mom?
7, 6. Runners, take your mark.
I realize this journey's not over. You know, I still got a long way to go. I still got a lot of things that I can accomplish. You know, I want to inspire my kids, you know, to, you know, they can see that they can do anything that they set their mind to.
You did it.
See.
Matt definitely puts on the tough guy persona, but I mean, when he's home, he's all about family time. It's not always the immortal Matt Brown. Sometimes he's just, you know, daddy. When he gets home from training or even home from a fight, he's in husband and dad mode completely.
You guys gonna go to my fight?
Yeah. Who's daddy fighting?
That guy.
What's his name?
His name's Condit.
Condit, right.
When I'm with my kids, I mean, I do my best to live that moment and enjoy that moment with the kids.
Where's your 1, 2? 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Wow. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a cliche, but, you know, that might be the last moment, you know, and that's something we always forget.
There's always something to prove, whether it's to yourself or to others. Even at this point, you know, I've always felt I've had a little chip on my shoulder. I had to prove that I'm good enough to be in the UFC. Then I had to prove I was good enough to win fights in the UFC. And I proved I was good enough to stay in the UFC. And now I got to prove that I'm good enough to be a champion in the UFC.
What it really comes down to, what I really want is just to be the best fighter that I can be. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't like to make predictions about my fights. My biggest thing is I'm going to be the most well-prepared that I can be. In the end, you know, hopefully I come out on top.
2,000 miles to the west, the man Brown seeks to vanquish touches down in Southern California for a much-needed getaway.
I absolutely love the ocean. Love being at the beach. Having the family with me is cool. Things are busy when I'm in camp, so it's nice to get away and just hang out and relax. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a break.
Sand between my toes, the waves crashing on the shore. Oh, it's true, I miss the beach.
It takes a strong person to be with a fighter, and luckily my wife's pretty damn strong.
We're okay with where he's at right now. It's that kind of spark. I had it. It was there. And a true champion's not just going to sit around and let that be that. A true champion's going to chase it again. And Carlos is a true champion.
I wouldn't be where I am in my career had Seeger not been in my life. She's my rock, you know. When things are getting crazy, she centers me, and it reminds me of what's important. You wanna go catch that bird? Go get him. Go sneak up. I want to be in fights that the fans are excited to watch. I'm definitely in the top of the division, but you know, I really don't look too much into rankings. Where I stand in the division at this point is right in front of Matt Brown, and he's between me and that title right now.
I'm gonna be your hell beast of the night.
I don't think that Matt has faced a guy like Carlos that is technical, experienced, and has that same relentless pace that he does.
Great match. I wanted this fight. Brown's been on a tear lately, but this is a step up in competition for him. We kick his though. He's gonna feel leather on his chin.
He's kind of coming up on the end of his years, and I'm going up. I do believe that I'm the best fighter in the world.
I've never backed down, and when somebody's here threatening me, and it's not going to be good for them.
Hailing out of California's rural Central Valley is a 22-year-old MMA star who became a prodigy with the help of his close-knit family.
There's Michael.
For years, Michael McDonald has trained with his older brother Justin and his younger brother Brad, who have both aided his journey every step of the way.
This was the place right here. I mean, I would get in trouble because my husband would come home and all the cushions would be off the couch. We've had big wrestling rings, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're playing.
Yeah, we're alive. We had a great childhood.
I don't know how Brad's alive.
That's true, man. That's true.
First entering the octagon just 2 months after his 20th birthday, age proved to be no obstacle to McDonald, as he reeled off 4 consecutive impressive victories and became the youngest man to ever earn a UFC title shot.
Michael McDonald knocks out Miguel Torres!
Then, in August, McDonald returned to the octagon to steal the spotlight once again by defeating another top contender.
That kid is for real!
Despite the meteoric rise, McDonald remains humble and true to his family's blue-collar roots.
I never got to live my dream. Very few people get to live their dream. And here I had the chance to help my boys take their jiu-jitsu lessons and kickboxing lessons. So I just worked harder so that they could live their dream.
Most people, if they heard their kids come and say, all 3 of the boys, I want to be professional fighters, you know, it's like, psh, not on my dollar. But my parents were incredibly supportive.
We were really struggling when Mikey first got in the UFC. Bob had so many health problems, and we were in debt.
I think he gets a lot of his determination from me, because when I set out to do something, I get it done. I tried to teach him that from the get-go. If you're going to do it, you have to go all the way. And that means a lot to me, that Michael has made it this far.
His very first UFC fight, he said, I want to pay all your bills off. I don't know why I'm crying, but he gave us a huge chunk of his money. And he was very proud to do that.
Yeah, they've definitely had to sacrifice a lot for us to be able to do this. All that we have, everything that we've done, it all started with, you know, the support of our parents and them making it happen.
For over a decade, one of the Golden State Capital's biggest stars has been a world-acclaimed mixed martial artist.
Understanding exactly why I'm here is what keeps me going. Knowing that I love what I'm doing keeps me going. You know, people ask me about being in the public eye and how it affects me, but it's easy to stay grounded when you're in a sport that reminds you all the time that you're just a regular dude.
Since 2003, Urijah Faber has used his vaunted submission and tenacious fighting style to achieve nearly every milestone in the sport, save one, a UFC championship belt. At age 34, and on yet another impressive win streak, the California Kid believes he is closing in on that final goal. A goal that would add to his long list of impressive accomplishments.
I stay really, really busy. And the training is a big part of my life. You know, you train 3 to 5 hours a day. But I have a lot of different businesses that I'm involved in, that I've started, that are doing well. My dad and I are working on a really cool project. It's been taking quite a bit of time at this point. Taking a house that was completely burnt down and revamping it in the heart of downtown Sacramento. So they're supposed to start the backsplash today?
Yeah, but it's Sunday, you know, so.
Yeah, but why do they say it if they're not going to do it?
Well, I mean, that's construction.
Yeah, this is going to be sweet. My dad, he's been building houses from the ground up since I can remember.
When he was little, I had cards printed up, Faber and Sons. So it was always my dream kind of have, you know, the boys. But now Urijah's employing me.
It's not only, you know, restoring what it was, but we added 10 feet on the back, and we took the attic, which is probably the part that was burnt down in the first place, and just blew out the ceiling and made it its own little living area.
But, you know, you got to remember, this used to be like the top of the house. This is the attic.
Yeah. Nah, not anymore. Good job, Pop. You did it, buddy. Part of the bigger picture for me is to have a family someday and have kind of the regular life.
Go where I want to live when I walk. Don't tell me what to do, go when I walk.
For me, I've kind of made a decision to have the next phase of my life a little bit later because I want to make sure that I do it right. It's something that I'm kind of thoughtful of, and I want to be able to spend all my time with my kids and be comfortable and you know, make some little studs. But it's just not time right now. I've got bigger things on my plate.
I'm riding, you see me riding.
For the California Kid, the next test will occur just a short distance from his home. A fight that many will once again describe as the most important of Urijah Faber's life. But this fight, and any other the UFC star has ever faced, pale in comparison to what his family underwent on November 25th, 2011.
I had just landed in New York, and I got a call from my mom, and she was hysterical on the phone, just like hyperventilating and trying to put something together and screaming, and all I heard was brain surgery and sister, and I just kind of broke down. This is gonna be rough. We didn't know if she was gonna be paralyzed from the neck down because she had fractures in her spine, and she had her skull removed, and she had a shunt put in her brain, and, you know, a collapsed lung and damage to her liver and everything else. So
we just had no idea about what to expect, or even if she would survive. I think her chances were like 10 to 30% of survival.
I was just trying to be positive, and every little recovery, you know, everything that was positive, we, you know, just were so happy about.
The first thing I remember is I was just looking at myself, and I had like a neck brace and a helmet, and I was like, my mom said, I said, what happened that?
Yeah, she said, what happened? She said, what happened that? And then I told her she was in a car accident, and she just kept looking at herself in the mirror.
Everything means so much, and when it's gone and when you lose it, you realize how important it was to you. And so always appreciate everything that you have. I know that he loves me so much.
I guess the biggest lessons from the accident with Michaela and how everything turned out is just to cherish the people that are closest to you, and for me, really be appreciative of the smaller things, because I sometimes get caught up in a lot of the big goals that I've set that aren't really the ultimate goal, which is just to be happy for what you have. I don't really know too much about Michael McDonald as a person. This is great to have people that are good for the sport and people that have been there, but it's not like you just give it an opportunity here. You're given an opportunity, then you have to perform, you have to perform, and you have to perform. It's all about who's the baddest dude. I don't really think about sport like a veteran or, you know, what my position is in it, really. I'm just doing. I'm a doer. I don't have time to sit around and enjoy my work.
This fight, Urijah Faber and Michael McDonald, is going to be a barn burner. They're going to get after it. Both guys always come to fight. It's going to be an excellent matchup. It is an excellent matchup. It's going to be fight of the night for sure.
One dimension that Michael's really good at is his striking. I mean, he's dangerous, but that's where he's most effective. That's probably where he'd like to stay. And I'm okay anywhere. Probably the most one-dimensional guy I've fought in a while. Standing up's my game, on the ground's my game. I've never backed down. I don't care what kind of situation I'm in. Broken hands, battered legs, broken ribs. I'm in someone's face and I'm trying to finish, and I need that little extra edge, and I think Michael's going to bring that out of me.
The Valley's Rock Station, Rock 96.7. Very special guest in the studio today.
Michael McDonald, of course, local fighter, trains out of Oakdale MMA. Got to give them their props. So coming up in December, you are going up against the legendary Urijah Faber. You grew up watching these guys fight, and now you're going to be fighting him in the main event in Sacramento.
Yes.
Coming out of the Central Valley, do you feel like you're going to be, I don't want to say the underdog, but not the favorite?
To me, I can't look at it as, oh, what's the popularity contest and what's it's going to do for the Central Valley. I have to look at it from a fighter standpoint. When you look at other fighters from a media standpoint, their job is to blow these people up as superheroes. And I can't look at myself that way, and I can't look at other fighters that way.
I got somebody who I talked to a lot online about MMA who's swearing that you're going to knock out Urijah Faber.
I don't know if I'm going to knock him out, but I have tested everybody's chin that I ever fought. Everybody that I've ever fought has been rocked by me, and Urijah's going to get rocked. I don't know what's going to happen after that. You know, I don't know what the end result of the fight's going to be, but I touch everybody.
Okay, I don't want to get too personal here. You're engaged.
Yes.
You got your lovely fiance joining us today. Not knowing anything about your guys' personal lives, I'm going to ask this. Ben asked to Ronda Rousey. Do you cut sex out before a fight?
I've actually been abstinent from sex for about 3.5 years now.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So he is going to kick some ass. This is why you've been on such a tear.
It's very arguable. No one can show you how to be there. There's nobody who's fought and has been to the top who still knows how to get you there. The people who were champions back in the day, they can't take you there because now the bar has risen.
Go!
It's not so much what you're striving for, it's why you're striving for it.
He's got a lot of pressure on him for the family, for the team, for himself. Mikey's very confident in his punching power.
I touch everybody when I fight them. I think his main focus will be on trying to take me down. If it's not, I think it's going to be a little bit of a mistake.
You got something more to say.
I'm going to test him in ways that people haven't seen.
If you keep the fight on the feet, he's going to knock Urijah out, and they know that.
I've had 27 fights, only 22 years old.
And he's kind of coming up on the end of his years, and I'm going up.
His experience and his age, is it going to hold up against me that's rising up through the ranks?
Fighting out of a tranquil town 30 miles to the south of Seattle, UFC flyweight champion Demetrious Johnson has now held his title for over a year, but his attitude remains one of a challenger.
You always hear about, oh, champions when they lose, you don't know till it's gone till you miss it. For me, the only way that I even realize that I'm still the champion is when people call me and say, hey, champ, we need you to do this. Hey, champ, all that stuff. Other than that, you know, everything stays the same. I still mop the gym. I still get beat up in the gym. I still act like the boss not even here.
Explosive athleticism and furious barrages have become hallmarks of Demetrious Johnson's championship run. A run that began when the fighter known as Mighty Mouse defeated his next foe, Joseph Benavidez, in 5 hard-fought rounds.
This fight has gone the distance.
Johnson's victory by split decision earned him the UFC's most coveted piece of hardware and became a life-changing moment for his entire family. A family that grew in July with the arrival of the Johnsons' firstborn son, Tyron.
Fatherhood's good. I love it. Coming home every day to my family. I've been away from Tyron all day, and I want to hold him while I eat my dinner. I want to talk to him, see how he's advanced, and hear about Tyron and Destiny's Day.
I think the sleep deprivation is the only thing that both of us were like, okay, there was no way you could prepare yourself for that. And when people say, get your sleep now, we should have taken advantage, because I think we underestimated. There's a kitty cat. There's a kitty cat. We built this house anticipating the arrival of our son. I was pregnant when we were building. I was pregnant when we moved in. And then I think walking through the front door the first time with our baby was just like, this house is complete. It's complete now.
What you doing, man?
He goes, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling, Daddy.
Juggling a family with training time hasn't affected my life. It hasn't affected my training. I believe I have a great balance. Obviously, yes, I would love to be at home more, spend time with my wife and my son, but this is what I do to provide for them so my wife can be a stay-at-home mom, so my son can have a good future.
It's just a different career, but either way, he's working hard, and it pays off. So hopefully we can show Tyron that you just got to work hard. Do what you need to do to work hard. No matter what you do, give it your all, do everything you want to do.
People recognize me in Seattle, and when they say, hey, it's Demetrious Johnson, the flyweight champion of the world, and I look and I say, nope, I'm just a man who works hard, and that's it. Sorry to break the news. Changing diapers and washing bottles, baby.
Just miles from where their championship rematch will occur, Joseph Benavidez readies to avenge his razor-thin loss to Demetrious Johnson. Extraordinary intensity and talent have once again made Benavidez his division's most feared contender. But his journey has not always been so smooth.
I started wrestling in high school. I was a state champ and a 3-time finalist. I always had that passion, that drive for the wrestling, but it was like everything else where I didn't really, I guess, have that much direction. I went to college and I started really drinking a lot. Started using drugs. I ended up dropping out of college. Felt like I hit a low in my life. Just had to stop. I knew I was destined for better things. I just wanted something better than what I was doing, and years later, with a straight head and a clear mind, I ended up finding MMA and being able to succeed.
For the past 3 years, Joseph Benavidez has been virtually unstoppable, with wins over everyone he has faced in 2 divisions, save one.
Demetrious! Mighty Mouse!
Since his setback against Demetrious Johnson, Benavidez has been collecting dominant victories against other top flyweight contenders, including a flurry of memorable finishes.
Omega is down and he's covering up. That'll do it! Joseph Benavidez has done it again!
Now, as he prepares for his hard-earned title shot on home turf, he hopes to dedicate his first UFC belt to his mother, 1,000 miles away.
I was born in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and went to Texas for about 15 years, where Micah, Joseph, and Ronnie were all born in San Antonio, Texas. things just weren't working out between me and their father, I decided that I would pack up my boys and come back home. I had to make that decision at the time, and so I feel it was the best one I ever made.
When I was 7 years old, my dad had gone to prison. He went to prison for drug use. I think possession and dealing, possession with intent to distribute.
So I packed up my boys, and we came to Las Cruces in 1991, and I got a job as a school bus driver. We always had food to eat and clothes on our back, but I always wanted my boys to have everything.
My mom was more than enough than two parents was, you know, as far as how much she cared about us.
I'm just so proud that he's following his dream and living his dream. And I'm a part of it.
Since 2007, Joseph Benavidez has been training with Urijah Faber as one of the top members of Team Alpha Male, an elite group of mixed martial artists known for their extraordinary camaraderie and exceptional work ethic.
To be a part of Team Alpha Male, it's amazing, man. I feel like there's nothing else like it in sports, like the bond we have. The guys are brothers, man. We're family.
This is a gym and a team that I started. It's been 10, 11 years now. There's a lot of guys that are starting to emerge and just become their own, and Joseph's been a guy that's been doing that.
Just scrambling. Nice. Way to stay in motion. Just touch. All you gotta do is touch. Nice. Benavidez. It's a dream for me to work with this level of athletes and develop my skills as a coach just because their openness and willingness to learn and get better as martial artists. Nice, baby. Add that, please.
When you have this many guys that are successful, wanting good things to happen to you, good things are going to happen.
Go, guys. Win on three. Win on three. 1, 2. Win!
For the most part, we go in there and we beat the crap out of each other and then go eat some good food.
Joseph's just super unique. I mean, he's like an old guy. He's like music, the way he dresses, the way he carries himself. He's established, if you will.
I'm like a 6-year-old man trapped inside the body of a Greek god. A Mexican Greek god. I'm the first of its kind.
For the most part, it's like the guys that stick around, they understand the bigger picture, which is we're all working towards a bigger goal and we have each other's back. It's going to be long after I'm gone out of the sport, this team's going to flourish. So I'm excited for that, and Joseph's going to kick it off. Awesome.
The goal is to be the first UFC champion out of Team Alpha Male. Anything less, it's going to be a disappointment. My first fight with Demetrious was for the inaugural flyweight championship, and I went out there and felt I didn't fight my best. Said I wasn't his toughest fight. This time it's a whole different animal. I think I can go out there and dismantle him. I mean, he's a mouse, like he's Mighty Mouse.
You guys know how to catch a mouse? Traps.
Going out there and fighting the best guy in the world, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm the better fighter out there. I think I can match him skill for skill, but I think I have that little bit of extra killer instinct that he doesn't have. I hurt people in my fights. When you usually see my fight end, die on the ground. I'm always ready for a title shot. I'm always ready to compete with the best guys in the world. The fact that I got my friends and family all here that I can make proud just adds that extra motivation.
4 seasons have passed since Demetrious Johnson and Joseph Benavidez last met inside the octagon. But even though Johnson won that contest, he's not taking the evolution of his opponent lightly.
Look at this guy. He's in southpaw, walks out because he wants to get that off. Now he goes back to southpaw. He's going to throw the left hand. Now he's going to walk out, throw the right hand. But look at where he is right there. You see what I mean?
Sometimes when you have to come back and fight a guy a second time, sometimes you could run into those motivation factors. You can get in your own head and say, well, he'll do this again, or he'll do that, or he might change.
Even when his hands are up, watch this motion to get that punch off. Watch his right hand. Look at where it went.
Way down his hip.
Yep, because he still has the throwing motion that he's always going to keep. That's so ingrained in him.
I don't want to say Joseph's not a very polished fighter, but we both have different type of fighting styles. I come from a school where we don't just throw bombs to hope they land. We're very precise in our striking. If every fight going out there just throwing my big bombs and haymakers and hope they will land, then I'm doing myself a disservice of not trying to learn the art of mixed martial arts.
As we get into those last couple weeks, you just start to dial in, get super buttoned up on stuff, and just start executing on everything we work on and get another win.
All right, well, ISIS. There's no such thing as perfection, but you can strive to perfection. And that's what I try to do each time I go to my fights.
The big difference in this fight is going to be who's actually improved more. I think you're going to continue to see a better Demetrious Johnson every single fight.
The best Joseph Benavidez, and we're gonna punch each other in the face. We'll see what happens when we get in there and we mix it up. I think we both have great technique and skills. I think it's gonna be a great fight. And as for my legacy, I hope I can be the longest reigning champion, and I hope I can go out on top when I'm ready to leave.
From camps lying in the shadow of the Golden State's capital to those over 1,000 miles away, the final weeks of training proved to be the most intense.
And you took me to hell and back how many times did I walk away from you? My mind's like a one-way traffic, every woman taking me back here.
When you walk out in front of a hometown crowd and when somebody's here threatening me, it's not going to be good for them.
His experience and his age, is it going to hold up against me that's rising up through the ranks?
I am a better fighter than him. There's no question about it. When I hit people, they fall down.
I'm excited to get in there, make it a nasty, grueling fight.
My whole goal is to just fight the whole time. Each second has to be perfect. I don't hold back.
He's dangerous, but he's gonna feel my power. He's gonna feel leather on his
And
chin.
you took me to hell and back how many times can I walk away from you? My mind's like a one-way traffic, every woman is taking me back to you.
It's all about who's the baddest dude. I always put my heart on the line.
For every single fight, when an opponent gets thrown to me like Urijah Faber, bad things happen because no one does it like I do. I feel like I have weapons all over the place.
I've never backed down. I don't care what kind of situation I'm in.
I can do to Mighty Mouse what I can to any other man because that's all he is. He's just another man.
That's what he said the last time, didn't he?
Just one more time and you'll lie like you always do. And I'll give it just one more time. That I swear that I'll be through. Yeah, I know it's there.
Nobody knows if you're going to win or lose. The only secret is hard work, determination, perseverance. This day has to be the day. There is no December 15th.
On December 14th, witness each man put championship hopes and dreams on the line as Fox UFC Saturday arrives.